Good afternoon, urban farmers, and welcome to another episode. Today we'll be finishing off the garden beds that I was doing last week. So what we're doing at the moment is basically just putting them together. We'll level them and all that sort of stuff later. Given that we're working with pretty old wood from 1993 that's been outside weathered, and it's sort of like, you know, obviously gone down in the quality. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as it's almost there, we're pretty happy. So, okay, just to show you one of the beds that we've already done. So it's pretty simple. I think we've got the size is about 2100, just so it fits next to the fence. 1175 or something like that. So that's just to match the width of these garden beds. And then here we're going to have slightly narrower garden beds, and it's going to be about 900 in width, and it's going to go all around to the fence and then all the way onto the other side. Just a little bit on the construction and the way that we'll be constructing these. So we're cutting it into the sizes that we want, and then initially we'll be fastening them with a couple of these drywall screws. Now what they do is they drill as well as screw into the wood, and it makes things a lot easier. So I would recommend these dry screws if you're doing this at home. And I'll show you how they look like. Now basically we're going to be assembling these with a couple of these screws in each corner. We will eventually have something in the corner that will fasten this all together and make it a little bit more sturdier. It doesn't necessarily need to be very sturdy because we're just going to be having soil in there, but because the wood is not treated in any shape or form, I don't expect this to last very long. It also means that these screws here in the corners might give way pretty quickly too. We are going to be fastening that a little bit more down the track. Now as you can see here, we've got varying lengths, which is a little bit more complicated. We also have varying widths or thicknesses of the wood as well. So as you can see here, some of these are going to be almost 300 millimeters wide, some of them are about 150 and so forth. So what we're going to try and do is we'll have the thicker or more wider pieces on this part of the garden, and then moving all around. We'll go thinner all up until we get to that corner over there. It's going to be pretty, you know, it's not going to be very high, which is okay. Because the long-term plan is actually to put some retainer walls here and something a little bit more permanent. If you're wanting this to be such a, like myself, I wanted this to be a free project, and that's why I left a little bit of space in between the fence and the garden beds, and I'm just going to put mulch there so the grass doesn't grow and all that sort of stuff. Now the reason why I left that, so I can actually drill holes and actually put more of a permanent retainer wall here down the track, and I'll do that down the track, but I just wanted to leave it here so I don't have to disturb my whole garden. I've got enough space that I can, you know, drill my holes and put my stumps in and all that sort of stuff. It's got about 15 centimeters in width. I mean, I know I'll probably need to, you know, maybe take a little bit of the bed off and all that sort of stuff, but I won't have to, you know, dig straight into the bed and all that sort of stuff, disturb it too much. So I left a little bit of space there. Oh, yeah. Now something unrelated to the beds that I'm doing, I did plant some potatoes here. Some of them have sprung up and done really well for themselves. There's certainly some spots where nothing's happening, like here and over there, and just around there as well. So actually they're starting to spring up, but it's not at the rate that I'm hoping that it was going to be at. To make our job easier in cutting this, we have some saw horses here. So we've got 3. and the reason for that is I put these two together quite close because we're going to be cutting you know, sort of shorter pieces of wood, around 900 to 1200 in size, and then I've got one at the very end there because we'll be cutting 3 meter lengths as well. And if you can help it, the middle one should be a little bit lower than the one at the far end and the one here. That means that it doesn't disturb when you're cutting the really long pieces together, but when you're cutting shorter pieces together, you can put them on these two here. That's just something I found my workflow to be a little bit faster, and it's just a little bit more efficient, so you don't have to move these sawhorses around so much. Okay, so the tools that I'm using for the project is the saw there to cut it, the square here to make sure that everything is square, or as square as it can be. I'm also using the meter there just to measure everything up, and a nice thick pencil just so it marks really well and I can see what I'm doing. I also have a drill which is on the other side, and that drill I will be using obviously to drill this in. So a quick update since we started. We've done most of the rough build, putting it together and all that sort of stuff, and now we're going to level the ground, make sure that the boxes are all nice and leveled, and then we'll reinforce them. After that, yeah, we'll fill them up with soil and whatnot, but before we can do any of that, yeah, we have to basically level the ground, or at least level the boxes where they are unlevel. I'd just like to end the video here. So this is pretty much all the work that we're going to be doing today, and we'll leave the leveling and all that sort of stuff for next time. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and if you have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please do so. If you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, please dislike it. At least tell me why, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hope you've had fun following my little journey here. See ya. Bye.